Hey guys, it's John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm glad you decided to pop in to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Welcome, everyone. Do grab something yummy from the kitchen, whether that's hot or cold, whether it's sweet or whether it's something healthy. Welcome, everyone, to another enlightening episode of Inspirations for Your Life, where I unravel the layers of human behavior, nature's lessons, and the art of leadership. I'm your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur and also a podcast coach here to inspire you and empower you with actionable insights. Tonight, I'm going to dive into the fascinating parallels between conflict resolution in ducks and humans, from instinct-driven flaps to deliberative discussions. I'll uncover how these seemingly simple creatures can teach us a valuable lesson about resolving disputes effectively, whether you're navigating a workplace disagreement or seeking strategies to handle personal conflicts. This episode promises to elevate your understanding and approach. Let's dive in and explore the dynamics of resolution together. Come on back for the kitchen. Let's get started, everyone. So, the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, I think is important to understand when we talk about this is the duration, right? The title for tonight's show, in case you were wondering, because it's kind of a comical title, Quacks and Clashes, Unpacking Conflict Resolution in Ducks and Humans, Series 3, Show 50, Episode number 2. So first thing is duration, right? The duration of the fight or the quarrel. Ducks, it's very brief and instinct-driven. Humans, it's often lengthy and deliberative and also has lots of unnecessary drama. So the method used for ducks is physical gestures like flapping wings or splashing water. Humans, dialogue, negotiation, or mediation, and sometimes physical fights. The intensity. When we think about ducks, low stakes, quickly, and it resolves itself. Humans, it can escalate into a high set of stakes or scenario into more drama. It can turn into people getting permanently offended. It can even end in some unfortunate legal battles. So the communication style with ducks, it's nonverbal and it's pretty straightforward. With humans, it's verbal, it's emotional, it's often layered with context, and it gets very personal very fast. So if you can't stand the heat, well, you're going to want to get out of the kitchen because when humans fight, it's not a pretty sight. Let's just say that. It's about power, it's about ego, and so many other things. So the outcome focus, ducks establish dominance or retreat. Humans, well, they aim for compromise, understanding, or they want a victory. Sometimes humans don't understand that the best way to win an argument is to not have one. The other thing that they also miss is that when they argue, that the one person has to be all right. That's not true. It needs to be a 50-50, a give and take. So the closure, ducks, it's immediate and final, no lingering effects. Humans, well, it may require follow-ups, apologies, or additional steps. So we're learning a lot from these precious little creatures, ducks. Ducks get aggravated pretty easily. But, the thing is, when they're all done, it's over. Like, that's it. And it's like nothing ever happened. They just go about their merry way, or they just, move to the side and it's fine. And they're probably friends again. Yeah, so I think this is pretty cool. And again, I got this whole idea from Father John at our parish this week. And I get a lot of inspiration from the Bible and from the homilies. But I thought this was really interesting because so many people in the world, they fight not because they have to, but because they want to. It's about a power trip, isn't it? A power trip. Ducks just kind of quack along like it's no big deal. Humans, well, it gets pretty live and it gets pretty personal with humans, unfortunately. So I think these are things that many people don't understand. And hopefully this is something that you might realize that people need to be able to communicate well. All right. They need to be able to communicate well. If they don't communicate well, then I feel that it could be a major, major, major problem. A major problem, right? And so when we think about, you know, problems and we think about issues, I think a lot of people don't understand what this really means. And the reason they don't understand it is because they get stuck in a rut. And this rut might be something that is, let's say, good for some people. Other times it's bad. Um, and I'll tell you that understanding this is something a lot of people just don't get. They don't get it. And so when we think about this, people need to understand one big thing. You know what that big thing is? That big thing is the fact that you make a difference. That quarrel that you might have, okay, it could be over very soon. But it's not about you getting huffy and puffy. You see, ducks don't fight for long. They do not fight for long. And I say this to you because a duck needs to understand one thing: the present moment. Ducks don't fight for long. And so the thing about it is that ducks will fight a lot. And the other thing that's interesting is that ducks sometimes attack humans for no defensive purpose, even though they don't even eat meat. Um, they only attack for defense. You just might not know why, like ducklings or eggs nearby, or just being territorial in general. Ducks are also pretty harmless, so even if they did get a desire for human flesh, it's not going to happen. I think ducks enjoy human interaction. And the question is, do they make good pets? Well, um, one person I knew had an encounter with a duck, and they said it was pretty amazing. Um, they also had a golden retriever who found a newly hatched mallard duck in the backyard. No other nest mates, no parents, etc. And he still had the little bump on his bill showing he had come out of the egg recently. Out of nowhere, I found myself in the role of being Mama Duck. During the first 4 weeks or so, he stayed close to me and loved to be held, is what the lady told me. The later 2 weeks, he grew more independent and left us almost 6 weeks to the day. He went from being the size of a fuzzy golf ball to a full-grown duck in that time frame. It was amazing. And so ducks, ducks are pretty interesting. Okay. And I tell you this because it's a matter of understanding what it is. So understanding what a duck is and how a duck lives, I think that's a very, very important point. But if we don't understand what that point is, ladies and gentlemen, then how can we ever, you know, connect? So ducks communicate in a very, very unique way. That way is how they, let's say, banter with each other, back and forth. But it's more than that, ladies and gentlemen. It's much more than that. I think a lot of times when we see a duck and we see how they are moving around the world, it's pretty powerful. Ducks are interesting creatures. Let me just say that. And so when we observe ducks, right, some duck species can dive up to 240 feet below the water, and others can fly as high as 21,000 feet in the air. Although most migrate at heights of 200 to 4,000 feet, they can also fly long distances and they use wind to help them reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. I bet you didn't know that, right? Ducks are pretty interesting. Ducks are well adapted for water, land, and air activities. Ducklings are loving siblings and communicate with each other before hatching. Ducklings coordinate hatching by communicating with each other while they're still in their eggs. Hatching at the same time is important because sticking together as a group helps protect them from predators. After hatching, they swim and walk together, following close behind their mothers, even as adults. Ducks prefer to be in a group, which brings people very interested to what they're doing. So they are very super social animals. Um, Female ducks pick their favorite male ducks to mate with based on dancing ability. I bet you didn't know that. So if you're a good dancer, then that's the um, female who's going to connect with you. So I think it's important to understand that. I think a lot of people understand where we are and what's going on. So now that you understand a little more about ducks, I hope you can appreciate this. My name is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. We have an amazing week to continue with the quacks and clashes, and hopefully this teaches you something very valuable. Again, I hope you have a fantastic evening. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, if you don't catch me first, on another inspiration show, tech show, or any one of my other content pieces at BelieveMeAchieve.com. Take care and have a great one, everyone.